What up, guys? That Comic Awesome here, doing another review, doing Iron Fist 77. This one wraps up the Sabretooth Round 2 story arc. But not only that, it kind of wraps up the arc, kind of all the loose ends that started with this run of Iron Fist. Essentially, when the run started, Danny was kind of in a dark spot. He was disconnected from his chi. He could only use it intermittently. He was traveling around the world, entering kung fu tournaments. He was approached by Chosen, a leader of an island called Lao Shi. Pretty sure it's Lao Shi. To enter a kung fu tournament there. If he wins, he was able to absorb the chi of the seven masters there. If he loses, then he has to forfeit the title of Iron Fist and allow the champion to absorb his chi. It came out that it was all a plot by Chosen because he wanted the chi of the Iron Fist so he could open up a portal and enter Kunlun. Because the island of Lao Shi was, all the inhabitants there were kind of like, not rejects, but people who left Kunlun to kind of start their own, but they wanted to go back to that city. So this does a good job of wrapping up the details. I will say this book does have an agenda, and there are points of it where you can kind of do a little bit of an eye roll, but this does it, I think, in a much better way and less kind of like, it doesn't like, to me, it doesn't push it in your face quite as much as other comics. And so I kind of give it a little bit of a slide. So we kind of jump into the action, and I kind of like this, some people have said that they don't like the green. I think the green is just kind of distinguished from the shadow and the black. But I kind of like that catch-up page. So you get kind of in the action. Sparrow, who is the leader of Kunlun, whereas Iron Fist is the protector of Kunlun. She is fighting Chosen because it is her job to protect the people of Kunlun against this army. And I gotta say, Mike Perkins, I'm not a fan of his art 100%. He does a great job at times, but I don't like his regular faces. His regular faces kind of are a little creepy to me. Now, costume faces, I'll show you, look really good. Like even Sparrow, like her face looks pretty good because it has like the bandage, and it's costumed. So she's in a fight. She's obviously kicking ass, but Chosen gets a kind of a cheap shot on her, and a couple of his men, start beating up on her, and she's like, you sit here and claim that women, are not your equal, yet, your men don't seem to think that you can beat me on your own. And Chosen is as kind of like a disrespectful kind of villain that he is. He does have that like sense of honor. So he's like, hey, look, no, this is my fight. I'm gonna fight her. So meanwhile, the plague of 12 rats, or the rat of 12 plagues, I can never remember, is fighting Sabretooth. He put the son of the Constrictor in the hospital, so it's kind of a personal grudge for Sabretooth to fight him, and he does a really good job. And one thing this book does, I think, a really good job of doing is the cut scenes. It cuts in ways that you would expect like a movie to cut from action point to action point to keep you involved, and it's not it never lingers on one scene too long to where you get bored with what's going on in that scene. So you get kind of the rat of 12 plagues, or the whatever. He unleashes his like mega plague on Sabretooth, and again, like, I just don't like Mike Perkins' faces. But you're going to see a really cool shot. So meanwhile, then it cuts to the people of Kunlun, and, Chosen's men are kind of going through the streets, like saying, hey, lay down your weapons. We won't kill you if you surrender, but Kunlun is ours now. And then, of course, they look up. And it was said that Dany had run off. He took the Book of the Iron Fist and ran. But what he did is he went and got Shou-Lao, the Undying, to come save Kunlun. So as let's see, Sabretooth fighting, and it's funny, he has kind of a little good one line here. So he just absorbed all that the plague, and he throws up, and the rat's like, how is that possible? And he's like, I'm immune to disease. And he's like, but you made me puke. I hate puking. And so he whoops his butt. And I don't like these positions. Like, who stands? Like, these look like catalog models. Like, I imagine that this was taken from like a Sears catalog, and like there was a jacket draped over Sabretooth's shoulder, and he's like, haha. Like, and then, it looks like Sparrow has like a neck problem where she's like hunched over. I don't like it. But so she, Dany comes back, and originally Sparrow said Chosen was her fight because she's the leader of Kunlun. It's her job to protect the people. Well, now Dany comes back, and he's like, look, this is my fault. Let me finish it. And see, here's an example of costume face looking pretty decent. And so she gives him permission. She's like, end him. And this is where, again, that looks badass. And so Iron Fist says, like, get your men away. It's me and you. That's it. So they start fighting. Oh, where did I miss the, I must have missed this. See, that, to me, that looks amazing. Like, that's Iron Fist looking as badass as possible. So they fight, and this is what I love. So Dany obviously kicks his ass, and he's like, look, the whole thing was Chosen has felt that, and this is where a little bit of the agenda comes in, but again, it's not, to me, it doesn't feel forced. It feels natural in this comic, so I let it slide. But he wants to kind of make Kunlun great again. It never says that. If he would have, then I would have probably been like, nope, too much. But he says that Kunlun's values have changed, that it's not the way it should be, and that his army wants to come in and kind of restore it. And he says, you keep talking about returning Kunlun to her past glory, dragging this city, my home, back into what it once was. You can't see that the reason it's currently lies in ruin. The thing that is destroying this city has been since before I ever set foot in it. It's men like you. So he's like, you people like you who are kind of like set in your ways are what destroys this city from the inside. Because Chosen said that Kunlun was disgraced when Dany became Iron Fist because he's an outsider, because he culturally appropriated the position. But then I love this. He kind of, I started to worry because I saw this, and he said, you may have won this time, Iron Fist, but I'll be back. Kind of the classic, like, villain. And I expected him to almost, like, pull out, like, a penguin, like, umbrella and, like, start, like, helicoptering away, like, I'll get you next time. And then, nope. So, that's the end of Chosen. Spoiler alert for anybody who, wanted to read this. But again, it does have a little bit of the agenda of, hey, you have to be okay with change, which, anybody who's not okay with change, but like there's ways of going about it, and obviously Chosen was kind of in the wrong. Kunlun wasn't bothering Lao Shi. He just was butthurt that he wasn't in there anymore. I liked this run so far. I'm interested to see now that kind of everything from the start of this run has been put to bed. Now kind of where we can go from here. And I'm kind of really interested in that. Subscribe over here. Let me know what you guys think. And watch some more videos and hit me up in the comments. And I'll see you next time.